Hey guys, it's me, Jim Kincaid, and here's the DW-H5600, Casio's new G-Shock Square with an MIP display. And I give it 2.5 stars. I'm gonna round it up to 3 just because it does look really cool, but 2.5 stars. First of all, it loses 1 star right off the bat for this. This protrusion is a heart rate monitor. Why is there a heart rate monitor on a G-Shock Square? That doesn't make any sense to me, okay? It's not like I'm against heart rate monitors. I have the H5600, and I am an enjoyer of this watch. I give it 5 stars. I think it's very comfortable. But this watch, the heart rate monitor, it makes it uncomfortable. I mean, not drastically, but it does. I do get some fatigue wearing this one, the H5600. It, you know, like at the end of the day, I want to take it off. Which this one, you know, I can wear this all day and night. And when you look at the case back on this one, it's like a polished stone. Okay, it sits right on your wrist like a pillow. Okay, the edge is all rounded over, and the buttons are chamfered. The strap splays out all the way, and this heart rate monitor does not protrude, okay? This one has GPS, this H2000 has GPS, so when you work out, it can tell you, you know, how far you went on your run or your walk or your bike or your swim. This one, it's a pretender to be a fitness watch, okay? This is a G-Shock Square in appearance, but it defies the G-Shock Square spirit, okay? And I have a G-Shock Square right here. This is Philip's. This didn't fit me, so Philip mowed some lawns, and I said I'd, you know, pay for half of it rather than return it. And my son Phil bought this, and so he's a wearer of this watch. And this one is the best square. It's, Donald, don't turn off my light. Donald, just turn off my light. This one is like, the module is highly optimized, and it's like a perfect watch, really. And so this one embodies the spirit of the G-Shock Square. It has the classic square shape, and this one is the GW-5610U, okay? And it's not that expensive. This one costs $120, but it has the multi-band 6 and the tough solar. So you can get a square that doesn't have either of those that, you know, cost, I don't know, $50 or $80. And this one, Casio's new Square with the MIP display, this one costs $300. Okay, that cost kind of defies the spirit of the Square. And, you know, having a heart rate monitor on it defies the spirit of the Square by adding all this unnecessary complexity. And the design of the Square, which is an archaic design, is not conducive to a heart rate monitor, okay? Now, when you look at the straps, the strap points downward, all right? It's supposed to be springy to help protect it if you drop it. And it also helps small wristers, because if the lug-to-lug is too wide for a small wrister, the strap is already pointing down. It helps it fit better. It's not good for a big wrister because it causes tension, and that may be another reason why I find it uncomfortable, okay? That design causes this one, the H5600, to kind of walk around on your wrist, okay? And so when you move it, when you adjust it to get it back into place, this scrapes, and it leads to some, I believe, it may lead to some inaccuracies in the heart rate monitor. Because while wearing it and having the heart rate monitor on, like, I've seen some readings that just, I know that they're incorrect, and they're divergent from the H2000, which for a while I was wearing at the same time, okay? All right, those noises in the background are from Donald. That's Donald's contribution. All right, anyways, so this loses 1 star for even having nope, wrong one. This one loses 1 star just for having a heart rate monitor, which I think is stupid. But then, let's talk about the tough solar, okay? When G-Shock released the GBD series, which is their G Squad. They're supposed to be like fitness smartwatches. They added Bluetooth, and they added all these like step counters, and they had the MIP display. Now that lineup of watches, everybody loved the MIP display, which you see right here. It's beautiful, right? It's crisp, it's clean. People are so used to, oh, there's the alarm going off if you want to hear it. One of these alarms is going off. All right, now it's over. And so everybody who bought one of those G Squad watches was like, this screen's beautiful. The MIP screen's beautiful. But all of these other notifications and the smartwatch stuff and the fitness stuff is stupid. I ignore it. And everybody was like, hey, Casio, make a G-Shock with the MIP display and tough solar, and make it a square. And they did that. And that's this watch, the DW-H5600. But the module just is not like this beautiful module on the classic square. And let me show you. Let's say that you have this classic square and you want to go to the stopwatch. You press mode 1, 2, 3 times, and then you hit start, and boom, your stopwatch is going. Okay? And then, all right, the stopwatch is going. Let me go back to the time. Easy. All right, let me go back to the stopwatch. And let me stop it and save that time and reference it later on. Let me go back to the main time. Pretty easy, huh? All right. The DW-H5600. Let's go to the stopwatch, all right? You have to press mode. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 times. Now you have to hit enter, so you press the 6th button, and now you hit start. And there's no 100ths of a second because apparently the MIP display can't update that quick enough, which is fine. But all right, if you stop it, it should display it, which it doesn't. It should calculate the fractions of a second and display it when you stop, which it doesn't. But anyways, you get the stopwatch going. And let's say you stop it, you want to record this time and back out of the stopwatch. Well, you have to hit hold back. Well, the problem is holding back also resets your stopwatch. Did you see that? It reset the stopwatch. Okay? So in this module, there's all of these things that I think are dumb, all right? I'm not really on board with them at all. First of all, I do not want Bluetooth on my watch. I don't want my watch to be connected to my phone, but you know, the expectation with this watch is that you should, okay? Now I got the GBD-H2000, even though it can connect to your watch via Bluetooth, I never did. I wore it for 2 months as a standalone watch. It worked out well. But this one, you know, all right, so notifications, I'm not gonna use those, but every time I press mode, I have to go buy them, right? Heart rate, discussed before. But you have, every time you select a different function in the mode, then you have to hit enter to go into it, which is an unnecessary step, in my opinion. Breathing exercise, you know, I don't want that on there. All right, and then you're at the useful stuff, stopwatch. But every time you select one, you have to hit enter. Now here's another small thing that's absolutely infuriating about this module. When you want to adjust the parameters, first of all, there's only one direction you can go, forward, okay? So this is the timer set for 16 minutes and 1 second, all right? So you hold down mode to set it, all right? But it doesn't do each digit at a time. You have to change the minute, 1 minute at a time, only going forward, right? And it only goes up to 60 minutes. All right, that's infuriating. Why do we have this brand new state-of-the-art watch and the timer only goes up to 60 minutes? You know, a lot of these dumb high-efficiency washing machines, you know, take 66 minutes and to do a load of laundry, and I can't even time it on this because this only goes up to 60 minutes. You cannot set this parameter one digit at a time, which would save a lot of button presses. Here's 60 minutes, and then back to 0 minutes. All right, that's dumb. All right, but now it's set for 1 second, the timer, and now we got to back out of it. So there's a menu system you got to back in and out of, and there's no. So to set the parameters, there's a forward button, which is mode, and an enter button, no reverse. The GBDH-2000 has a forward button and a reverse button and a separate enter button. Okay, now that cycling through of the parameters is another problem. If you go to the world time and you want to set what time zone is displayed, okay? So you hold the mode, and all right, Los Angeles. Let me go one time zone west of Los Angeles, which is what, Anchorage? Okay, well, guess what? I can only go forward, so now I have to go all the way around the world. That's annoying, okay? And a similar thing happened when you go to set your, in the settings, you hold down enter to get into the settings. Oh, here's another annoying thing too. These buttons, you know, this, like I said, a 40-year-old archaic design. You pretty much have to press them with your fingernail. And I forgot, you got to go back to the main time screen. So I'm holding down, hold on the mode button to get into settings. All right, settings, enter. Now I want to go to physical settings, which are the settings for me. And there's my weight, there's my height, there's my date of birth, all right? Okay, 1980, all right? This watch, it came preset at 1995 for your birth year. So I wanted to adjust it. Well, I had to press mode from 1995 all the way to the year 2100 before it wrapped back around to 1900. Then I had to press it 80 more times to get to 1980. It doesn't allow you to go forward on each digit separately, which again is really annoying when you think about it, because this square, every little detail is so optimized. It's just like the perfect watch. And the reason why I don't wear it is because the band is too small, right? So one good thing about this new DW-H5600 is the band is bigger, okay? So I have an 8.5 inch wrist, and it fits well. So if you are a big wrister, then you may be interested in this watch, but if you don't need the band, obviously the clarity is way better on the MIP display of the DW-H5600, but is it $200 better? You can read it at a steeper angle, right? But I'd save the money. Get the classic square until they come to their senses at Casio with the G-Shock square. All right, and the comfort level on the GBDH-2000 is way better. Okay, in my opinion, coming from my vantage point as a big wrister. All right. So what else can we say about this DW-H5600? Well, let me just recap my rant thus far. The heart rate monitor is stupid. The module has all these problems, and some might say, all right, just hook it up to your phone and use a Bluetooth. Well, first of all, I do not want to hook it up to my phone. I do not like Bluetooth. I do not like apps. I want a watch that functions by itself as a standalone watch, okay? So, if you have to use your phone to adjust your watch, what's the point of having a watch? you just use your phone. Like this watch has an almanac feature. So it's telling you your sunrise and sunset, just like the GBD-H2000, except, nope, that's not the wrong function. Where's the almanac? There it is, all right. But it should need to know your latitude to have the correct sunrise and sunset, which I don't know, I can't set it. So I'm assuming that, you know, this is something that you'd have to set in the watch when you time sync your watch to your phone. And again, if you had to use your phone to set the latitude on your watch to get the sunrise and sunset, why not just look at the sunrise and sunset on the weather app of your iPhone? You know what I'm saying? So, I just can't recommend it. All right. So it loses 1 star for having a heart rate monitor. It loses 1 star for doing the basic watch functions poorly and having a cumbersome design, and for shoveling so much of its features off onto an app that I'm not going to use. Okay. But that being said, it looks really cool. Okay. And the screen's beautiful. I love the colors of this watch. It's not like this. It's not like the same color black. It's a little bit muted black, and this solar panel color is like the color of a tape from a cassette tape. And the orange is like the perfect color for contrasting all that. There's a design feature here that it has this mirrored border. It like the camera can't really capture it that well, but when you're walking around and, you know, during, you know, the sunrise or sunset, when it's kind of dim out and the light catches it just right, it looks beautiful. So I know a lot of you want this real bad, and I won't be able to talk you out of getting it, but this watch, when you include the heart rate monitor, is 11/16 of an inch. This is an 11/16 wrench. So it's thicker than the square, which is 1/2 inch. All right, this is a 1/2 inch wrench. So you're dealing with a little bit of thickness. However, this module, this heart rate module, gets buried into your flesh, making it effectively stands about 5/8 of an inch. Is that, no, that's not the right. Should be, hand me the 9/16 wrench. There we go. So it stands about 9/16 of an inch proud off your wrist by burying 1/8 of an inch of that heart rate monitor into your flesh that you may find uncomfortable. I do, especially when this moves around, and this is prone to moving around. Somehow the GBD-H2000 stays put, and I give this watch 5 stars. It does have some of the same weird design problems in the module, but I put up with it for the fit of this watch. And there's some other watches here that you can compare it. So like I said, this is a classic square, same in form, but in spirit, very different from having all of these highfalutin functions that, you know, we're not going to use. Here's the King, all right? And I like this watch, except that very difficult to read with a negative LCD display. And finally, you get a beautiful, easy, very clear to read display on this watch. Can't say enough good things about how beautiful the display is. And I know that a lot of you are asking how it compares to the, what is this one? The LA20 WH. There you go. All right. This watch can almost fit inside the screen of the H5600. This is Daphne's. And here's Brian's watch. This is like your regular G-Shock. All right, guys. Well, there you go. Any questions, leave them below. I'll make some more comparison videos and updates as to what I find out about this watch. My name is Jim Kincaid. Thanks for watching. Oh, guys, I forgot to add one more thing about this rant that is worth noting, is that the solar charging on this watch treads water. the solar charging, it's going to run out eventually. Even if you never use the heart rate monitor, you'll have to plug it in. So it has a charger, a proprietary charger that you'll have to clamp onto the watch with those terminals in the back. And it's just, you're gonna have to keep this charger somewhere, like in the junk drawer, or somewhere that it's on hand for the eventual occasion when it runs out of batteries and you'll have to plug it into the USB. So it's not self-sufficient off the sun like the other solar powered watches by G-Shock are. So just keep that in mind.